Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. What's going down, brother?
Yeah, very well. Still love that intro. Makes me laugh every time.
It's funny in the States when we say what's going down, usually it's kind of like, what's up? How are you doing? And you always just say very well. It's an interesting response to that comment, but that's good. It's all good.
Hey, do you know what? I caught myself today. You always make fun of me for going, you all right? Yeah.
I don't. It's a lot of the guys in the UK. As soon as I get on a call with the guys, and look, I don't. You know me. I don't care one way or the other. I just like giving people a hard time. So, it's just such a common. I like looking at the nuances that are different between the guys in the US and the guys in the UK or the guys in Canada or what have you that come through the program. And there's certain subtleties that are just different. And one of them is a lot of the guys, as soon as I get on a call with them, the first thing they say is, "Hey, Doug, you all right?" And it's just not something
you say guys do.
I've gotten a call. It depends on how formal it's going to be, right? But hey, how you doing is a really common one. If it's more friends, what's up? Might be something you say. It's just something I've noticed, and I started making fun of you as a joke because I think there was a day that I got on 5 different phone calls with different happened to be UK, and in different levels of formality for the business interactions, and it was all the same thing. Hey, Doug, you all right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. I like to see that they're representing the UK well.
They are. Great guys. I mean, come on. And we have an alpha reset coming up in the UK. So very excited about those things. The doors opening up there. We got guys from the States coming, and obviously guys from the UK. I don't think we have any other guys from Canada or anywhere else in Europe for this particular one, but it's going to be an exciting event.
Yeah, no, we don't. But yeah, it will be a great event. Really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. What are you drinking? Is that a beer this early?
It's an electrolyte drink. So
nice.
We have, anyway, I don't want to go into electrolytes and hydration, but yeah, we have a sugar-free electrolyte drink that my wife and I like to drink.
Nice. Well, anyway, there's something I wanted to bring to the table today and to discuss and unpack. And it comes off the back of what one of them guys said on the calls with us this past week. I can't remember who, speaking to one of the advisors. And he basically complained how his wife is using sex as a weapon, almost as a tool of manipulation. She's withholding it from him at times. She is saying things like, "Hey, don't touch me. This is my body. Get away from me." And then other times she'll be allowing him to touch her and, be more forthcoming. And obviously he found this very confusing, right? Where do I stand? Why is this happening? And at the same time, it was also getting caught up of being in her frame as well, right? She's very much in control there as well. So I thought this would be a great topic to bring to the guys, to the listeners, because I guess, I know I've been there in the past, a long time ago, but and it's a game. I mean, we've covered it a little bit on other episodes, but yeah, I'd love to touch on it a little bit more. So on that note, Mr. Dougie Fresh, what are your thoughts?
Well, sex is a weapon. There's so many ways that women and people can use sex as a weapon. And I think what the first comes to my mind is the idea of manipulation, right? And so first of all, if you're married, right, I don't think sex is just on the table. That's one of the primary reasons people get married. It just is, right? Reproduction, whatever you want to say from a religious standpoint, but sex. Because what you're doing here, right? When I married Erin, my wife, I promised I wasn't going to have sex with another woman for the rest of my life. And for her to withhold sex from me is friggin' ridiculous in my viewpoint. Now, am I saying she has to have sex with me when I want, how I want, every time I want? No.
Yes.
Hopefully, if I've done the work that I'm supposed to be doing, right, that we teach guys, she's going to want to, right? She's going to want to have sex with me when I want, how I want, and all of those fun things. And luckily for my relationship, I have that, right? But it wasn't always that way. And what happens for a lot of us guys when women tend to use sex as a weapon, right? And they deny us sex, we don't feel it's rightfully so. You got to start wondering, like, what the hell? Right? I'm going to start looking at the secretary, the woman at Starbucks, the girls at the gym, porn, OnlyFans, whatever it is, right? The neighbor down the street during the pandemic. You're going to start having those fantasies and start wondering, why the hell am I doing this? But a question I would ask myself, Tim, if I was in this situation, right? I know this is not where you want to go with this, but the question I would ask is, wait a minute, is my wife not sexual at all? Well, guys, if you've had sex with her, then if she is sexual, which guess what she is, if she is sexual, then how is she getting her sexual needs met if it's not me? That's what I would start wondering, going, wait a minute here. These things aren't adding up, right? Here, I'm being denied my sexual desires, which means she's being denied hers, or she's choosing to deny hers. And how else is she getting them fulfilled? So we look at sex as a weapon. I look at it as a manipulation technique, right? What's really going on is what I would want to know, right? And I don't think it's right. And I think if a woman wants to withhold sex, one is there needs to be a reason. Is there abuse going on or something? And if those answers are no, then we need to start talking about an open marriage, right? Or something different. Because look, me, Tim, I got a picture right up on my wall here, one life, right? You got one shot at this game we call life, one ticket. And sex is one of the beautiful things that's out there. Sex is amazing, especially connected sex. And that shouldn't be something anybody uses as a weapon or is denied to anyone.
I agree. And I think the thing that comes to my mind when it's been used as a weapon is when it's deemed a reward, right? Hey, you've been a good boy, you've done the dishes, or whatever. I'm going to have sex with you. And it's like, obviously it doesn't come across like that, but still the undercurrent of how it happens and the context around it is, that it can be a reward, which is still a form of manipulation, right? And that's equally as damaging as kind of having no sex to a degree. But yeah, you raise a great point. If she is sexual, which to be fair, Doug, what if some of these guys, right, their wife has had kids? Maybe she isn't feeling as sexual. Yeah. Maybe she isn't doing the things that make her feel sexy.
Yep.
Right? Especially during the pandemic. Maybe she used to like going to the spa. Maybe she used to like getting her nails done or getting her hair done or seeing her girlfriends or whatever it is, right? That contributed to her feeling sexy. Because, again, I'm thinking of these guys, the listeners here. Let's say that you guys are using the Live as a King system, right? So you're then walking in through the door at the end of your workday or coming downstairs or, out of your home office, whatever it is, into the living room, right? And your wife's there. And let's say you've listened to other podcast episodes and you're taking their advice and maybe you change clothes. So you've got an anchor so that you go into a different role. You're going to get out of work mode and slip into husband mode, lover mode, father mode, right? Being the CFO of the house. And let's say you do that and you're also using the Live as a King system. So you're working out, you're looking after yourself, your SMV is nice and high, it's soaring, but still sex isn't happening or it's been used as a weapon, right? Hey, this is my body. I'll gonna give you this where I want. I think one of the places to look is what we were just speaking about a minute ago. Well, what can I do to help her feel more sexual?
Yeah.
And that'd be a good question. And if the guys are doing what we've just said, ticking all those boxes, what can they do to help their wife feel more sexual?
Yeah, I think these are two very different topics, but very important ones. So going from sex as a weapon to making your wife feel sexy, I think are two different things. And I think they're two separate things that a lot of guys are going to cover. So here's what I'm going to propose, Tim. I'm going to propose that our next episode, beyond how you can make your wife feel sexy and sexual again.
Okay.
And let's continue down this road for this one. And guys, you can see how much we prepare for these podcasts. We have topic ideas and we just chat. I mean, this is how we do it. So, coming back into, your wife using sex as a weapon, this is where we go into the different levels of relationship, right? We have 1, 2, and 3. And a third level relationship is everybody's just trying to get out what they can out of the relationship. Level 2 is, we're looking at horse trading, right? I'll do this for me I'll do this for you if you do it for me. And that's the level we're talking about here. And level 1 is unconditional love. I'm just going to do it for you because I love you, right? I want to make you happy. And that's what all of us want, right? We all want the marriage and the relationship where each person's doing whatever they can to, in a beautiful way and not in a sacrificing way, to fulfill the other person, right? You're doing it for your wife. She's doing it for you. And you're doing it just because you love her, not because you want something. What a lot of guys fall into is, all right, I'm going to be a good boy, a good guy. And they fall into deer mode. And then as a good boy, I'll get a treat, which is sex, a blowjob, maybe even. Ooh, I might get a hand job on the couch if I really clean the whole house and detail our car and go get all the groceries and cook dinner for the kids. Woo. They get into this mode and they start begging for it. We see this in the group all the time. We have a private group going on right now for the guys, and the guys are getting amazing results, by the way, Tim. You got to look at some of these results these guys are getting.
I've seen them.
But so what happens here is the woman's just going, geez, it's a transactional relationship. She's like, yeah, all right, I'll give you a hand job if you detail my car, clean the house, and you're a good boy when I take you to the barbecue, that you make me feel like I'm the best wife in the world. And if you don't drink too much and you carry the plates in, you clean up my friend's house so we look like the perfect couple, then you might get lucky over the weekend or something, in the future. Insert the date. That's manipulation, right? That's like me just saying, look, I'll give you $100 if you clean my house and you do these things, right? It's just transactional. And there's nothing sexy about that. And guys, if you're starving for that, you're just too much into a drought. We really need to activate you. And these guys fall into this deactivated state, right? This guy you're talking about, no offense to him, but he's in a deactivated state, right? He's in a beta state where he's having to beg for sex. That's what it sounds like. And if you're in an activated state, you're, what we call the benevolent alpha, or you're activated, you're still a great guy. You're not a jerk, but you're not begging for it, right? You're going to get it because your wife is going to know that if she's not giving it to you, not that you're going to threaten her, because you don't threaten guys, but she's going to know, right, at this state, when you're in the activated state, that you're going to get it somewhere, right? There are plenty of other women waiting in the wings for an activated alpha male, right? Doesn't mean you're going to do it, but those opportunities are going to become obvious and clear to you. The girl at the gym, the girl at the Starbucks flirting with you, whatever it may be, it's going to become your wife's friends will start stepping up. It's a weird thing, but it happens. And so, what I would do in this situation, Tim, if I found my wife trying to use sex, and this has never happened to me, is I would sit down and call it out. I think that's really critical, is you got to call that situation out. Say, hey, look, babe, I love you. When we got married, we both agreed not to have sex with anyone else. Right. And I want to honor that. But right now, my needs aren't being met, and I want to be with you. I want to be with you. And I feel like the only times we have sex is when you want me to do something. And this just isn't working for me. I love you, but this isn't working for me. Or I love you and this isn't working for me. And then I would have a conversation with engaged indifference, right? Again, engaged indifference means I'm engaged in the conversation, but I'm indifferent of the outcome. I'm indifferent of her emotional response here. And I think this is critically important for guys to do that, find themselves in this situation. And you got to find a way to go from deactivated to activated, guys. You got to. I mean, it's a must. It's not like, someday I will. No, it's a must. Because what most men find themselves in a situation where, they're not getting the sex that they want as much as they want. I'm not even just talking about the dirty, nasty stuff, right? I'm just talking about most guys just basic, right? They're not getting it. And, you're deactivated at that state. You're frustrated. Your frustration turns into anger and you snap at your wife. And your wife uses you snapping at her as an excuse for you not having sex. You're being a jerk. Maybe if you were nicer to me, right? But really what's happening is now you're in a cycle of manipulation. So you try to be nicer. You try to be the nice guy, right? Because she just told you, hey, you're being a jerk. So you're like, all right, I'll be nice. You get laid. Now you're in beta mode. You're deactivated. That's not the way it works, right? This is not a Hallmark movie, right? This is that real life stuff, that you want to look at. Hallmark is one of these channels here, Tim. I don't know if you have in the UK. You looked at me kind of funny where, it's got kind of sappy romance, shows on there and things like that. We have these things called Hallmark greeting cards. But anyway, when you look at this is not what life really is, right? Any other movie you see, and it's true, the guy with a little bit of an edge, he gets the girl. And not only gets the girl, but he gets the hot sex. He's getting the blowjob on the road trips, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And you can still be a great, nice guy. You can still be an amazing man and a great man. You can still be, a very devout religious man and still follow this, but you have to be an activated man. It doesn't matter what your religious preference is. Doesn't matter, you have to be a good person, but you want to be a great person coming from integrity, but you want to be an activated person, which means you're tuned in, you're turned on, and you know what's going on around you, but you know who you are. And that stops this manipulation right in its tracks because you won't stand for it. And you shouldn't stand for it. If your wife is using sex as a weapon, then it's time for you to draw a line in the sand, right? Obviously, and we'll talk about this in the next podcast, there's certain circumstances, right? If your wife's pregnant, she's sick, she has cancer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? There's certain circumstances where I can get, hey, she doesn't want to have sex or can't have sex, but that's not using sex as a weapon. That's very different to me. Using sex as a weapon is very manipulative. We had a guy recently we talked to, he found out, and I think with some coaxing from his coaches that helped him uncover it, that his wife was using him for his money and didn't care about him, but was essentially a gold digger. And because of that, he exited the relationship. Right. And, it was nothing that we did. We just were able to help him see what was really already there. That's the same thing here. Right. That's manipulation. It's unscrupulous. It's out of integrity. It's unethical, in my opinion. Look, you both made a commitment to just be with each other. And that's ridiculous. That's like if I commit to just eating salads the rest of my life, and then someone says, Doug, you can't have any more lettuce unless you're a good boy. That's not fair. I'm going to starve. I've
loved it. I've loved you've been on a roll. I'll let you do it. I think, guys, one thing to recognize here, if this resonates, okay, the reality is your boundaries are probably going to be non-existent to a big degree anyway. Not going to be very strong, let's put it that way, in many other areas of your life. Chances are your staff probably are not getting things done when they say they're going to get them done. And you're okay with that. You let it slide. Chances are you don't hold yourself to that standard either. You say you're going to do something and then you don't. Oh, I'm going to start working out. I'll start on Monday. Monday rolls around. You know what? I'll start next Monday. You accept and you tolerate a lot of things in other areas of your life. So an easy way for you to make having that conversation with your wife easy is for you to start looking at the holes that exist across your life and start plugging them. Because as you start plugging them and you start taking a stand for yourself and you stop accepting and tolerating certain things and saying no or holding people accountable or holding yourself accountable, you're going to start to really build your courage and confidence. And that's going to naturally spill over into your relationship, which is essentially part of living from the inside out, right? It's part of what we teach the guys, live as a king system. But this is the easy way for you to do it, because then it becomes who you are. And you naturally take that into the relationship. And like I said, the conversation becomes easy for many reasons. One, because it's how your wife now sees you. She starts to see, hang on, something's different here. He's acting different. He's doing what he says he's going to do. There's no more broken promises. You're saying no to certain requests because you know you can't fulfill them. She starts to see changes. So then when the conversation comes with her, she probably saw it coming because it was just the next thing on the list to check off. So that's the way to make it easy for you guys. It might not be the fastest route, but it's certainly going to be the easier route because you're going to build that confidence and flex that muscle, and she's going to see it coming 9 times out of 10 because she'll know something's amiss too. Whereas the harder route is just to go straight and have the conversation because, unless you're living that in every area of your life, she might be looking at this and going, hang on a minute. You're trying to have the conversation, but you're saying one thing, but it's coming from a place of weakness, like Doug was saying, deactivated. And she's going to feel what you're saying. And if it doesn't feel, if there's no certainty behind what you're saying, it's lacking conviction, guess what? It's not going to have the impact. Mm-hmm. And sex will continue to be used as a weapon. So, I hope the guy that had the conversation listens to this. I think he'll get a lot out of it. So thank you, Doug.
I'm always here to help the guys, man. That's what we do. So, gentlemen, if you find yourself in this situation, first of all, don't put up with it. Just don't, right? If you're looking at the 3 levels of relationship, you deserve, I'm going to use the word deserve, you deserve the best. You deserve one that's full of love, respect, admiration. And a lot of times that starts with us, guys. And you can get that back by doing the work on yourself, whatever that work is for you, right? For everybody, it's going to be a little different. But you can get it back. But the first thing starts with becoming activated, right? Making sure you're standing your ground. You're drawing a line in the sand and saying, look, we committed ourselves to each other for better or worse, through thick and thin, right? Till death do us part. But part of that commitment was saying, hey, I'm not going to have sex with anyone else. And if that's the case, then I'm only having sex with you. Then that needs to start happening. And we need to figure out how we can do it. And that could be a dialogue that opens things up. But guys, make sure you're ready for that conversation. As Tim said, standing in your power and being ready to have that. Gentlemen, as always, thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, go over to thepowerfulman.com/bonus. That's thepowerfulman.com/bonus. And we only have 2 more days, it looks like, here. 2 more days for you to get the bonus that's currently up there, or it's going down. So you'll be a new one up there probably by the time you actually listen to this podcast. So get up there now and make sure you get it. We are going to have, I believe, the Alpha Rise and Shine as I speak this up there for you guys. So that's part of this, right? Making sure you're doing your routines, making sure you're getting things ready. So it's going to be an abbreviated version, guys, but it's a free bonus. We put out one every month for you guys, as well as we do as for most of these podcasts, a new worksheet for you each week. So guys, have an amazing week, and we'll see you next time on The Powerful Man Show.